How do you find purpose in what you're doing? So we've talked about in past episodes the 5 levels of Maslow's motivation pyramid. So the first, the foundation, of course, is survival. You got to have food, water, shelter, warmth, all that fun stuff, so you can live. The next is safety. You're not going to get mugged. You're not going to get beat up at work. You're not going to lose your job because there's layoffs. We talked about social uh, motivation, and that is uh, feeling the need and feeling the social relatedness and the inclusion and the belonging to your work environment, and the different ways we can do that, particularly with neurodivergence. Um, and then we talked about recognition, ego. How do you recognize someone? It's the 4th level. So the 5th level, at the highest level, if you've met all the other criteria, is purpose. If you have purpose in what you're doing, you can move mountains. There's nothing you can't do. What do I mean by that? The last company I worked for was Abnormal Security, and their purpose, their goal, was to end cybercrime. Their purpose was to take the load off of the constantly stretched and overburdened cybersecurity departments, um, and relieve them by doing a lot of the tasks that they would normally do on their own through AI. And that means unlike your typical email gateway, which uses rules and stuff, and those rules get modified, and you got to make new rules for stuff that's new and emerging, and you got to really manually do a lot of that stuff. So you lose a lot of new stuff coming in because it hasn't had a chance to recognize that, and you've got to do all this work to figure it out. So you get a lot of attacks. AI can quickly identify that by doing straight up analysis on all the data coming in, all the email coming in, based off of thousands upon thousands of indicators that can detect trust. And so even new attacks that come in, the AI can identify that up to about, I would say probably 97%. They're working on getting it higher. They may have gotten it higher since I've left. But 97% is a lot better than like the 60 or 70% you might get with a typical email gateway. So the AI is able to do a lot of that work. So their purpose was to relieve the cybersecurity departments. Um, After you've met all your other levels, you become inspired, and all of a sudden work isn't work for you because this is what you want to be doing. And it could be anything, right? I worked for ServiceNow, and working for ServiceNow, my purpose was to make sure that everyone that came through our training program had all the knowledge, the tools, and the excitement that they would need to be successful in their endeavor. And usually that endeavor was running ServiceNow and being an admin and building new apps and whatnot. And they would be excited. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted them to feel that excitement. That is the blessing of being a person that's driven by purpose. So how do you keep at that level? So that's a really good question. Because it's at the highest level of the motivators, as things change over time, you become more competent, you become more um, relaxed, you're looking for new challenges. All of a sudden, purpose isn't the only reason to be there. So you start moving down the levels a little bit. You're looking for different recognition, or maybe you're looking for a different challenge and whatnot, a new purpose in order to grow and progress. As you move through your career, your purpose will change, and that's okay. because it's that purpose that drives you. Right now, my purpose is to make sure that every company has a program in place, a true developmental program in place that will fight burnout and particularly fight neurodivergent burnout because it is so prevalent today. 59% of the American workforce is at some level of burnout. That's not an exception. That's not a red flag. That is the status quo. When the majority of people are burned out, that's a problem. We need to stop that. That's my purpose. What your purpose is entirely dependent on what it is that motivates you. What it is that you get up and you say, I want to do this job because. And as you work through your different levels of motivation, you get to that purpose level. I hope you find the reason why the company exists, the reason why your job exists, and the reason why you want to do that job, and you get up and you get excited about it every day. Find it, because it'll change your life. So hopefully this is helpful. If you like what you see, hit like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, or if you want to share what motivates you, what is your purpose? Put that in the comments. I'd love to read them. And enjoy your learning journey.